Oh yeah. Hey guys, it's the next project for the day. What in the world is this crazy thing? It's a foundation drilling machine. I've had some of these before in some of my videos, but this guy has got a nice problem, a tough problem. It is broken right in here. Hold on a second, let me climb in there. Okay, so now I've climbed inside the belly of this thing. This thing has suffered some cracks. This is a support angular brace that helps support the main mast that goes up here. This is the same one that I replaced that center shaft piece right there last year, I think. But anyway, so this is our project for the day. This is broken through these little patch plates. This material seems to be like 4x6 rectangular tubing, but it only seems to be 1/4 inch thick. And this has been problematic in these machines in this model for quite some time. I think some of the newer models have either a thicker tube or a plate that goes here on the sides to help support it. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm not a real big fan of scab plates or patch plates to say. But in this situation, being that it's a bit of a design flaw, that is the only option available to us at the moment, and so that's what we're going to do. It looks like it had already been cracked here, and it's been repaired before by adding this patch plate. And then of course here they added another little diamond at another situation, another time that it broke, and so now I'm stuck with having to take that off, fix it. And now the crack came down on this side. So I think what we may do is remove this guy and lengthen it and extend it to here, and maybe just a little bit past here, being that this is already a heat affected zone. Create our new one over here, and it should be good. We'll remove this, put that back in place. The challenging part is going to be to get around this side of the crack. From the factory, they didn't even come welded right there, which is going to be tough to access because that's inside the cab from in this general area there. So that's going to be fun. This side's the easy one to say because there's nothing around it. So yeah, this one is cracked kind of funny. I cracked this way around this scab plate and then down this side here. So just a pain, but it is what it is. So we've got our fire blanket here. We're gonna drag it out, stuff it under here, make sure we don't burn any of those, but we're gonna gouge this guy's off, and you guys will see. It's gonna be kind of crowded, so you may not be able to see so well, but at least you get to see what we do to this thing. If in case somebody who's got one of these machines, pay attention to this spot. This is a very important spot that does have failures a lot. So let's get this thing started. I should do it for now. And just where that's going to go back on, just kind of put it back on there. Okay, you don't mind firing it from?
Got everything?
Sorry?
Got everything?
I believe so. It shouldn't be, this gouging shouldn't take too much.
Got both sides at the same time?
I'm going to gouge this off and then gouge this piece off, but I may have to rearrange that blanket.
Okay.
I'm going to fire it up. set up for wire.
Wire?
It is set up for wire. Switch.
Change it. Oh, and polarity?
This is always tricky.
Yeah, out of the...
Yeah, just watch it for it. If you can, just watch around here. Make sure I'm not shooting any sparks to the sides. I'm gonna try to lower the air.
Not a lot that way. Like, little sparky bits, but they're gonna jump up.
Yeah, okay, good. It's being caught by the blanket. Ruining the blanket. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
I can cool that off.
It won't make a difference. The blanket's doing its job.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's gonna be tricky because I want you to see where
Bring it to the fire.
This one's gonna be tricky because I'm gonna try and shoot these guys this way as slowly as I can. So
Right down in there.
yeah, hopefully not. So you may wanna jump over. Bring that over here this way. Yeah, set it on top of here for now. You come around. You can go up around this way. These are always fun. Don't stand this side over here. Bring that with you though.
Yeah.
Don't grab that wire.
That's rigid.
Yeah. Wondering. Just kind of eyeball, see if I make any sparks on that way. No, that's good. Okay, that came off pretty easily, not so bad. As I was mentioning earlier, this looks like 1/4 inch, and like sure enough, that only looks like it's a 1/4 inch thick there. But this was done well. It seems like there's no cracks underneath that, which is good. And so now we can tend to this crack. What's nice is, as I mentioned earlier, or in other videos, heat will expose cracks. So now we can tell exactly where our crack is at. Where our crack is at. So anyway, let me take off this patch piece here and see what's underneath it. That one we'll have to cover that a little bit better, tuck some blankets in there, because there's just a lot of things that can go wrong here in a hurry. Fortunately, this is the cleanest this machine has ever been. I've worked on some of these that are so greasy I come out a different color. So let me situate things around here, move them, tuck it in there, and I'll start taking this plate off. I used to cover myself with a blanket. Gotta move things off. You know, you want to put it on you.
Got that side down?
No, you do this. Let's try lightly. Problems later. Yeah. Okay. You said there's a crack right here for me, right there. Yeah. Yeah. And just cut out the section too. Boom, boom. Okay. Let's go on the other side, if you don't mind, and we'll try and drag some of this from underneath this way. You can leave it there. Pause. Try it. Put your hand somewhere in there. We'll try to drag this on that way. Can you pull through it? There you go. Just like that. Is there any way to get under this part too? Yeah, it's not really. Oh no, there's a plate there. Okay, pull out some more for good. Okay, pull out some more grease right here. There you go, like that. Now we can spread it that way. Just like that. Okay, so this guy's going right here. Okay, you can grab my phone. I'm gonna shoot these sparks most likely that way. You can wet this a little bit, but they'll bounce off of air, so that's not that big a deal. No, the hose. Yeah. Okay, that's good there. I'm gonna gouge this off that way. So a lot of them are gonna be going that way. They're really not gonna affect much, I don't think. Maybe spray those hoses down a little bit. Yeah. So just keep an eye on that. Okay, that's what's next. Okay.
Oh yeah. My hose behind you. Although I'm not really using it because I'm watching the sparks.
Yeah, no, that's fine. All right, so what was interesting about this whole thing, it's hard to climb down here, is that if you remember, the patch plate ended up cracking somewhere up in this area, but actually it broke loose from the weld underneath and it only affected the original crack that it covered. So that is good. I'm glad I didn't gouge here and just add some weld, because then this would have still been cracked underneath. So now this will allow me to go ahead and fix this crack right in here. Put that right in there, and there, up in here, fix that, and we'll go ahead and put another patch plate over it, because it seems to be helping. And we'll see how thin this tube is. Like I said, I suspect that it's 1/4 inch thick. And so I will also clean up this trashy stuff here, this weld material, and I will just only be able to weld around that original side plate, which is this guy right here. Weld up from around there up through here down to the bottom. We'll put a longer plate here, and we'll put a strip here to kind of help reinforce that. So let me gouge this up a little bit better so I can see how thick it is, and then we'll just do a call once cleanup, and then we'll just weld it all up. Not very funny.
There's this piece of foam right here.
Yeah, it's expanded foam. Make sure that doesn't catch fire.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, open the cab door. See how thin it is?
Yeah,
Not thick at all.
not at all.
That's thin. Let me remove some of this with a gouger so you don't have to grind so much. All right. Oh, looks like I got another one coming in. That's nice. All right, so anyways, I was mentioning this material is really thin. It is really, really thin. It's only 1/4 inch, like as I mentioned. It's hard not to bust a bunch of holes through it. So this is an ugly mess, but at least this side is done, right? So now we'll just grind all this. Actually, I'm gonna grind this off or gouge some of this off, and I think we'll put a longer patch plate up here in this general area all the way down to strengthen this whole section here, and hopefully that'll help, because this is starting to get metal fatigued, and without doing some serious chopping about maybe cutting out a section, this is the best that we can do for the moment. So I'll gouge this off and start welding on that side before we attack this side. All right. All right, so my handy helper got that all cleaned up for us, so that's looking really good. As I mentioned, this is really thin, so that's gonna be fun. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a piece of patch over here about 18 inches long, and this one's only gonna be about 1 foot long, so that'll span this original break in this area up until about this here area here, and it'll hopefully hold all this together. So I will weld this up here in a minute. Actually, it's around lunchtime now, so I'm gonna weld this up after lunch. Weld this up here, and then put these patch plates, and then work on this side. We are limited on material, so we may only be able to put one here, and I don't know what we're gonna do about this guy up here just yet. And we'll be able to tell. You can probably see it. I don't know how well this is focusing, but I can't see it with my glasses. So we'll have to see what comes of this here. This is kind of another tricky situation because it just goes in different directions, and again, we're limited on material. This guy here, it cracked right next to the weld, obviously, or of course. Either that or maybe we can tie into that. I don't know yet, but we will tackle that when we get to that point. Let's finish this up here first and then move over to the next side. Actually, let's go about half of this distance. Now that we got those off, now we can clean this up here. It doesn't look like there was anything broken underneath here, except for this little spot there, so I'll have to watch that as I weld it. But what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna shift over the patch plate to where the end is roughly in this general area here, because we're limited on materials, so only have a foot left. So 2 pieces that are a foot left. So we're gonna put one in there, put one in that side there. We're just gonna have to weld this side up here and just live with it. And it is what it is. See how thin that is? I busted a hole too easily there. So that's gonna have to do it. We'll grind all this up. I'll cut some more plates. Let my helper grind this up. I'll cut the plates this time, and then we'll be ready for welding. That's already done. The plates, you already got the plates? Yeah, these plates will go right in this general area there. Kind of bridge the gap of the two. It's longer than the first piece. And then the same thing with the side plate. Put it right in that area. So we're getting there. You know, again, as I mentioned, other than sectioning in a new piece, there's really no way of fixing this. This is getting to where it's almost too fatigued, and so hopefully this will work. But if not, at that point we will have to section in a new piece of tube, and that will be fun. Said no one ever. But if someone's got to do it, I'd rather it be me. So either way, next step.
Kind of tough because there's almost no good place for it, because if I go too much further this way, there's a break right here. The line right there, you see it? So I need to kind of cover both since we only have a little bit of material for each. So that might be the best we can do right there. It's a tight spot. Undo the welding lead so I can go ahead and... No, it wasn't actually broke. It only broke right here. Yeah, so that was good. Both of them didn't go all the way down, so that's the catch. I need that one. Yeah. Oh, okay. Good. see. Yeah, you didn't see it all, man. That was crazy. What is the flag?
All right, so we're at this point here. I'm gonna go ahead and weld this one up before I weld that up, or I may just weld that up first and just go ahead and finish that out. But we're getting closer. It's a little tight in this area here, so you know it's tough to film. But I'll put you guys at a distance so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. All right.
Can't go far.
I don't know. I'll see what.
Tough. Yeah, do me a favor, turn the machine down to about 108. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Have me clamp this other piece on there. Looking like you want to do that one?
No. I'm just imagining how one would do it.
It's not going to be fun, I'll tell you that much.
Especially because I can't see.
How are you gonna do that again?
Well, to get to this back piece, you have to kind of do this number to get the rod to here.
Yeah, exactly.
So
You're gonna have fun.
I'm not sure how one would do that.
Oh man. Yeah, so anyway, here we got this side done, got the easy side done, of course. And now we're gonna put this side piece on here. And then of course the struggle will be, as he was saying, to get on that other side. And I'll probably do it because somebody can't do it. I'm just picking on him. He's only just started welding, so anyway, yeah, we're getting there. Let's keep moving.
Something like that. Can you clamp it? So
I don't know how to do this.
yeah, just don't worry, that's fine. Or turn it around and put that in this way. Okay, so this has still got a gap on it. We'll tack this side first, and then we'll switch it over and clamp it here and get it tight. Go. Okay, let's move this over. My knees no lucky. Can you turn the amperage up just a little bit, like about 3 amps? All right, so you guys are gonna see it first. I don't even know what I did because I couldn't really see. Okay, so that's just gonna have to do. I got most of it. I got a couple little wonky areas, but I don't want to put too much heat into that and make it a problem because the heat is too much heat input, and I have a bigger heat affected zone. So it's already kind of compromised material, and I got a good portions of it, you know, so it'll do its job because this is a tension pull this way and that way. So that'll work. Now do this top side and then jump over to the inside.
So that will do it on this side. I need to jump on that side and do this inside. That's gonna be fun. So you may ask, why didn't I just wire weld this thing? Sometimes you have difficulties, or I have difficulties with the suitcase and the cable. It's, I think, a 15 footer or so, really long, and it just kind of gets coiled up, and it just becomes an issue to where I may get frustrated and have a lot of wire feeding issues. And so for a situation like this, it's just stick welding is always reliable. It is a little slower, it is a little harder, but you know, it keeps up some good practice. So that's why I chose to stick weld it. Okay, now let me jump over to the other side and do the inside. Just like that. That'll do it right there. That's perfect. right, well that was quite the challenge. Got that welded up there, and then this guy in here. That was pretty tough. But this side's done, so that's good. Got the hard side done first. That side should be a lot easier, so we'll knock that out real quick.
Got it prepared, Bob.
All right. All right, so this is getting very hot. You need to be very careful, because if not, it just become no good metal. But I was able to close those gaps there, or fill in that groove, and got the side filled in as well. Gonna grind that flush, gonna grind this flush, gonna put those patches over it, and we should be done. The other side's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but that should be fine. At least it'll be a little bit more in the open where I have more access. So let me grind this down, grind both those down, and put those patches on, and we'll be set to go.
Good?
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm gonna need some more.
any other batteries that are still good?
Yeah, we have another one.
Okay, we're gonna need it.
Okay, I'll go grab it.
One down, one to go. Got this side done. That'll do. One more side and we're out of here.
Turn it down 3.
All right, man, oh man. This took a lot longer than we expected. Initially it was just going to be one crack around the tube, but finding what we did, it's just one of those things where may as well do it all. And so, you know, as I mentioned, I'm not a fan of those patch plates, and I just made some shorts not long ago about not liking patch plates. But in this instance, the design of this machine was an issue, so we're having to put patch plates. The newer models, I do believe, as I mentioned earlier, I think I mentioned earlier, come with thicker tube and plates on both sides on these things, all the way in each direction for that additional support. So I think we're done, and we're gonna head on out, but hope you guys learned something. Maybe some acrobatics. I don't know, that's pretty tough. I'm gonna be sore for a little bit. My legs are asleep, but either way, call the ambulance, I guess. But now I get to cruise on home and enjoy the drive home. So thanks for the watch, thanks for follow, and you know, it doesn't hurt, subscribe if you don't mind. Doesn't hurt anything, or a like, or you know, that kind of jazz. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks again, guys.